Hello my fellow creators, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is the second of the month, which means it is time for Show Us Your SheetLoad collaborators to share our version of this month's SheetLoad of Card Sketch. The creative genius behind the SheetLoad of Card Sketch is Alicia of the Call Me Crafty Al channel. Alicia shares a new SheetLoad sketch with her subscribers each and every month. I have linked her channel in the description box below. The SheetLoad of Card Sketch provides all the information you need to make a batch of cards. It lists the supplies needed, how many cards this sketch will yield, and this month's sketch yields 8. The dimensions in case you want to make one card instead of the full batch of cards. And alternatives, other ways to use this sketch. For example, rotate or flip the sketch. Now if you print the sketch at 100%, you will see that this is an actual size of an A2 size card, which is wonderful because it gives you some idea of what a finished card could look like. On page 2 are your cutting guides. So as you can see, here is how to cut your 12 by 12 paper, and you'll have a few scraps left over, but when I have scraps like these left over, I use them on the inside of my card to tie the front of the card to the inside. And then for card stock number 1, you'll need 2 sheets, and you're going to cut them to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And for card stock number 2, you'll need 2 sheets, and you'll cut this at 2 1/4 inches by 6 1/4 inches. And then for card stock number 3, this is a great way to use your scraps. For example, I have lots of strips of white cardstock in my stash. So I can just use these, since these are pieces that are 3/4 inch by 3 1/2 inches. For this month's sketch, there is actually a page 3. And this is giving you some additional instructions. So when you put together the pattern paper that is 2 by 6 onto the mat that is 2 1/4 by 6 1/4, you're then going to cut them down at 2 5/8 inches. That will give you the 2 pieces you'll need to place diagonally. Now, also on this page, Alicia did a wonderful job of making this as a template that you can use. So you can put your card here, and then you'll be able to place one piece there diagonally and one piece here. And then you know it's placed correctly. This was perfect. It worked perfectly for when I put my cards together. Now make sure to follow the hashtag on screen to check out what all the other collaborators made using this month's SheetLoad of Card Sketch. And if you'd like to play along, make sure to use the hashtags on the sketch so that we can see the wonderful creations you have made. The paper I have chosen to use to make my cards with this month's SheetLoad is this White Christmas by Recollections. It was a hot buy paper pad that I bought, I believe, last year. I've chosen this polka dot paper as well as this one with some foliage and gold highlights. And then for my embellishment on the card, I have chosen to use this paper, and I've cut out each of the presents. I'll show you. Now let me show you how this template works real quickly on one card. So there, I've already matted my paper onto the card. And then using the template, this shows me where to place this piece and this piece. Now all I have to do is flip this around and just use my scissors to cut off the excess. Now what I've decided to do on some of my cards, I'm leaving them portrait as it is shown on the sketch. And on the others, I've turned it to landscape. So I went ahead and stamped my sentiment and heat embossed it using some Simon Says Stamp Ultra Fine Antique Gold embossing powder. And again, these were just strips of scrap cardstock I had. And then here is one of those little presents I cut out from the coordinating pattern paper. So let me finish putting these two together and I'll be right back to share my completed cards with you. Alrighty, let me share really quickly the cards I made using this month's SheetLoad of Cards sketch. And I decided to make them birthday cards, as you can see. And they all have little presents, and I added bows to most of them. Now the little foliage that I used, I die cut out of some Recollections gold cardstock I had in my stash. And I used the Simon Says Stamp Christmas foliage dies. And then for the little bows on the gifts, I used Simon Says Stamp's Candy Canes die. And for the sentiment, Big Birthday Wishes, I used this sentiment from the Simon Says Stamp Big U Words stamp set. And as you can see, this is where I cut the little gifts out of to attach to my cards. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I'd be thrilled if you subscribed to my YouTube channel or followed me on any of my other social media platforms. As always, have a beautiful, safe, and creative day. Thanks for watching. Bye.